I dropped off one of those. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh, is that where? Anyway, I said, well, I know you can't do the services, Dan, but I hope you stream this. He says, well, I've been streaming this for several years.
She said, yeah. She's going to stop.
I wish I had something.
She'll cue us and start our Jewish time.
I still have this. You just
Yeah, no, we have this thing called Jewish time.
what were you doing?
It's close.
Oh, you could have closed. Do you know my dad? This is my dad, Terry Ross. Nice shaker. He has Lashana Tova. He has joined the. Nice. So my dad's been a member for just her. So 50. He's been a member. Yeah. That was
We've had issues with those
They will be just fine. Shana Tova, if everyone would come in and take your seats, we'll begin in just a minute or two.
Sorry.
Oh, I don't know, that's next and louder.
No, that's just me.
And then I do closer to you. Air was so clear.
Sorry.
I was kind of jealous of
I know what you meant. That's what I ask her every time I see her now. She's enjoying not being on the board. You have no idea how much.
The availability of time.
Right.
Shana Tova. It is wonderful to see you all here and that you all brought your light with you today. Okay, I guess some actually did. Wonderful, wonderful. Please turn to a neighbor, wish them Shana Tova. I feel right now like Bilam when he looked out over the people and he said how beautiful this is, the house of Israel, and that's where we will begin today on page 110. Page 110. Please join me responsively on page 111. Ma tovu, how good they are, these tents of Jacob, how beautiful the homes where Israel dwells.
And blessed are all who have homes, when so many yearn for shelter and for prayer.
And blessed are we who share this house, which shelters us where we belong.
This house of Torah, this house of love, a sacred assembly.
In small and humble rooms, in splendid sanctuaries, today our people greet the turning of the year.
We stand with all of them this morning, grateful we're alive to see this day, first dawn here.
For all of us, no matter where we've traveled, come back to celebrate the season of return.
Give praise to this morning, give thanks for our gathering, give ear to the ancient call that brings us home.
Our hearts rise up in hope, our spirits reach for new beginnings, our voices too lift up a melody that celebrates today.
How good they are, these tents of Jacob, how beautiful the homes where Israel dwells.
112. Like to join me for the blessing for study at the top of the page. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, supreme power of the universe. You sanctify our lives with mitzvot and give us the sacred obligation of learning and living Torah. Our God eternal, let us taste the sweetness of your Torah's words, and let them give pleasure to your people, the house of Israel, so that we, our children, and all the generations of Israel to come shall know your name and study your Torah for its own sake. Baruch atah Adonai, hamlamed Torah la'amo Yisrael. Blessed are you, Adonai, in your sovereignty. You choose us to bring the gift of Torah into the world. Baruch atah Adonai, notain Torah. Blessed are you, Adonai, giver of Torah. Page 115. Some mitzvot sustain us not only in this world, but also in the world to come. They are honoring our parents, acting with kindness and loyalty, eagerly pursuing Jewish learning at all times, welcoming guests, visiting the sick, rejoicing with couples under the chuppah, caring for the dead and mourners, delving deeply into prayer, making peace among human beings, and the study of Torah. This is the cornerstone.
Never reach a
On page 120, we continue with this blessing of thanking God for the miraculous gifts of our body and of our soul.
אשר יצר את האדם בחוכמה וברא נקבים נקבים חלולים חלולים אשר יצר את האדם בחוכמה אי אפשר להתקיים ולעמוד לפניך במלוכתה שנתת וכל בשר ובבריא לעשות.
Page 125, we continue responsively. We praise you, Adonai, our God, ruler of all time and space. We call you Pokeach Ivrim, the opener of blind eyes.
Help us to see your world in a new light.
We call you Malbish Arumim, the dresser of those without clothing.
Help us to put on garments of health and life.
We call you Matir Asurim, the freer of captives.
Help us to break free of the bonds of ourselves.
We call you Zokef Kifufim, the straightener of bent backs.
Help us to find the power to stand upright and proud.
We call you Hamechin Mitzadeh Gaver, the steadiness in our steps.
Help us to understand our journey more clearly.
We call you Hanoten Laya Efoach, the source of strength for the weary.
Help us to be strong and to be a source of strength for those who love.
Page 129. We read together at the top of the page. Blessed are the works of your hands, O Holy One. Blessed are hands that have touched life. Blessed are hands that have nurtured a child. Blessed are hands that have embraced with love and friendship. Blessed are the hands that have planted new seeds. Blessed are the hands that have harvested ripe fields. Blessed are the hands that have cleaned, washed, mopped, and scrubbed. Blessed are the hands that have held pain. Blessed are the hands that have become knotty with age. Blessed are the hands that are wrinkled and scarred from doing justice. Blessed are the hands that hold the promise of the future. Blessed are the works of your hands, O Holy One. On the next page, blessed is the one who spoke the world into being. Praised is God.
Praise the one that was ever created.
Praise the one who creates with a word.
Praise the one whose vision is made real.
Praise the one who loves the earth.
Praise the one who loves earth's creatures.
Praise the one whose worshiper knows goodness.
Praise the one whose life and being last forever.
Praise the one who rescues and sets free. Blessed is your name.
Our sovereign, we praise you with songs of celebration. Your oneness is the life of the cosmos.
Excuse me, sorry. Baruch atah Adonai melech mehulal batishbachot Blessed are you, Adonai. Your majesty is celebrated in songs of praise. God is my light and my refuge secure. Whom shall I fear? God is the stronghold of my life. Of whom should I be afraid? Just one thing I have asked of God, only this do I seek, to dwell in God's house all the days of my life, to behold divine sweetness and beauty, and to gaze in delight at God's temple. Page 135.
Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah,
Hallelujah, scintilation of
Hallelujah, titillate through all. Kol Shema, Hallelujah. Kol Shema, Hallelujah.
And how much sweeter is our praise and song this morning with our band here. We thank Chuck and Lynn and Andy for bringing their neshama, their soul, to us this morning. Page 139. My Lord is not a shepherd, and I am not his sheep. No monarch greedy for my praise is worthy of my prayers. Oneness that exploded into cosmos, spun the double helix over eons of evolution, made all things beautiful in their time, gave me intellect and initiative to envision oneness, a single chain of life, a single human family, and myself one part, responsible and responsive, member of a people who dreamed of oneness, worked and suffered for its sake, and still lives in its service to that unity. This I honor, this I hold sacred. 141.
Yitkadal v'yitkadash Shnei Rabbah Me'amati Ram Yirtei V'yamdik Malchutei V'haye Konu V'yomechom U'v'chaye Lecho Beit Yisrael Bagala U'vizan Karim V'yimeru Amen Yehei Shmei Rabbah Mevorach Le'olam Me'olaya Yitvarach Yitvarach V'yishtabach V'yitvar V'yitroman V'yitnaseh V'yitadar V'yitaleh V'yitalal Shemei V'kudusha B'rihu Le'elam Le'alem V'yikol V'yachata Shira Tushvechata V'nechemata Daviran V'yalma V'yimeru Amen.
It's tricky. Page 142, please rise as you are able.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu
Page 148. Bring us in peace from the four corners of the earth. Lead us with upright pride to the land that is ours. For you are our God of miracles and wonders. From all the peoples of the earth, you sought us out and brought us near to your great enduring truth. So with love, we acknowledge and proclaim that you are one. Page 150.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Baruch
Please be seated as we continue on 152.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובפניך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם אלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Please join me on the bottom of page 157. Love God with your mind. Stay curious, open to questions. Marvel at the wonder of what is. Love God with your heart. Stay alive to suffering and joy. Yearn for the world that could be. Love God with your strength. Open your hands and give. Work for the sake of what ought to be. Page 161. Continuing together. The beginning of your word is truth. If you exist at all, I know you can't abide hypocrisy. And most of all, you don't want prayers that lie. You'd rather get an honest fight than strings of empty platitudes. So I can't pretend or hide in pious phrases given to me by the past. It's hard to speak of my own imperfect truth. In fact, the more I say, the less I seem to know, and the farther away I get from you, whatever you might be. I've heard that what you really want is not more words. You want the heart. That may be more than I can give, but I can try. Page 163. Remember the stories of slavery and you will never stop working for freedom. Remember their fear at the edge of the sea, and self-doubt will never defeat you. Remember when desperation turned to celebration, and you will never let hope. Remember the words of the Baal Shem Tov, forgetfulness leads to exile. Remembrance is the secret of redemption. 164. Tzur Yisrael, Tzur Yisrael, Kuma be'ezrat Yisrael, Kuma be'ezrat Yisrael. Go Aleinu, Adonai, Tiva'ot Shamo, Kadosh Yisrael. Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael. 166. Make every effort to pray from the heart, even if you do not succeed. The effort is precious in the eyes of the Eternal One. Please rise as you are able. Adonai sevatai tifta ufia gita hilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibur V'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Ve'konei Hakol, Ve'zocher Hasdei Avot Ve'imahot, U'mevi Geula Livnei B'neihem, Leman Shemo Be'ava. Zochreinu l'chaim, v'lechavet b'chaim, v'chaveinu v'sefer ha'chayim, lemancha Elohim chayim. Melech Osher, U'Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham v'Ezrat Sarah. Amen. Atah Gibur Le'olam Adonai, Mechaye Hakol Atah Mechakel Chayim B'Chesed, Mechaye Hakol B'Rachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim V'Rofer Homlim, Umatir Asurim, Ukayem Emunato Lishanei Afar, Michamocha Bam Yivuro, Umidom Belam, Melem Memit Chayei, Umatzmiach Yeshua, Michamocha Avarachamim, Zoher Yitzuram, L'chaim Barachamim, B'ne'emanat L'chai Yor HaKol, Baruch Atah Adonai, Mechayei HaKol. Please be seated. We continue on page 174. And so let these words of sanctity ascend to you, for you are our God and sovereign. Unetane tokef kedushat hayom, ki hu nora v'ayom. Let us proclaim the power of this day, a day whose holiness awakens deepest awe and inspires highest praise for your dominion. For your throne is a throne of love, your reign is a reign of truth. In truth, you are judge and plaintiff, counselor and witness. You inscribe and seal, you record and recount. You remember all that we have forgotten. And when you open the book of memories, it speaks for itself. For every human hand leaves its mark, imprinted like no other. We read together on page 176. And so a great shofar will cry, Tekiah, and a still small voice will be heard. Angels in a whirl of fear and trembling will say, Behold, the day of judgment, and they too are judged. In your eyes, even they are not blameless. All the mountains of the world pass before you, like sheep before their shepherd. As a shepherd considers the flock when it passes beneath the staff, you count and consider every life. You set bounds, you decide destiny, you scribe judgments.
Rosh Hashanah Ikatehu Yom Zion Kippur Ikatehu Chama Ye'aru V'chama Yimareu
Together. On Rosh Hashanah, this is written, and on the fast of Yom Kippur, this is sealed. How many will pass away from this world? How many will be born into it? Who will live and who will die? Who will reach the ripeness of age? Who will be taken before their time? Who by fire and who by water? Who by war and who by beast? Who by famine and who by drought? Who by earthquake and who by plague? Who by strangling and who by stoning? Who will rest and who will wander? Who will be tranquil and who will be troubled? Who will be calm and who tormented? Who will live in poverty and who in prosperity? Who will be humbled and who exalted? Together. But through return to the right path, through prayer and righteous giving, we can transcend the harshness of the decree. You are everything that we praise you for, slow to anger, quick to forgive. You do not wish the death of sinners, but urge them to return from their ways and live. Until the day of death, you wait for them. You accept them at once if they return. Since you created us, you know our impulses. We are but flesh and blood. Continuing, we who are mortal, our origin is dust, and so is our end. We wear out the lives to get our bread, like broken vessels, like withered grass, like a flower that must fade, a shadow moving on, a cloud passing by, mere dust on the wind, a dream that flies away. But for you, ever-living sovereign, time has no limits. Your praise, unbounded by days and years, is everywhere, a glorious mystery none can decipher. Your name is worthy of you, and you are worthy of your name, and our name you have linked with yours. Please rise, page 184.
מקדש את שמך בעולם, כשם שמקדישים אותו בשמי אהרון, ככתוב על יד ידיך, וקראת על זה ואמר, קדוש, 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 אדוני צבאות, אלוהים כל הארץ, כבודו. אדיר אדירנו אדוני, אדוננו ואדיר שמך בכל הארץ. אמרו כבוד אדוני מכבוד. אחד אלוהינו, הוא אבינו מלכנו, הוא מושיענו והוא ישמענו, ברחמיו לעיני כל חי. אני אדוני אלוהינו, נלחם אדוני לעולם, אלוהים ציון, וג'ור אדון. לדור ודור נגיד גדלך, ונצח נצחים קדושך נגיש, ושבחך אלוהינו מפינו לא יבוש לעולם ועד. כי המלך גדול וקדוש אתה.
Please be seated. Page 186. How do we sense God's holiness? Through awe, together. And so in your holiness, give all creation the gift of awe. Turn our fear to reverence. Let us be witnesses of wonder, perceiving all nature as a prayer come alive. We bow to the sovereignty of your strength, the primacy of your power. We yearn for connection with all that lives, doing your will with wholeness of heart. Awe-inspiring is your creation, all-encompassing your transcendent name. How do we sense God's holiness? Through honor, together. And so in your holiness, give your people the gift of honor. Bless with praise those who praise you. Bless with hope those who seek you. Give your believers a basis for faith, true happiness for the land of Israel, true joy in Jerusalem. May the sparks of David, your servant, soon grow bright enough for us to see a beam of light in the darkness, a promise of perfection. How do we sense God's holiness? Through righteousness, together. And so in your holiness, give the righteous the gift of a vision bright with joy, a world where evil has no voice, and the rule of malevolence fades like wisps of smoke. Good people everywhere will celebrate the stunning sight of arrogance gone from the earth. Page 192. Kadosh ata v'nora shemecha ve'ein Eloah mibaladecha kakatuv. Yikba Adonai tziva'ot v'mishpat v'ha'el hakadosh nekadesh v'tzedakah. You are holy. Your name is awe. There is nothing divine beyond you, as the prophet Isaiah taught. The source of all might is exalted through justice, the God of holiness made holy through righteousness. Baruch atah Adonai HaMelech HaKadosh. Atah v'charta mikol ha'amim v'yahavta otanu v'ratzita vanu v'ramamtanu mikol ha'lashonot v'kidashtanu b'mitzvotecha v'krevtanu malkeinu la'ovdatecha v'shimcha hagadol hakadosh aleinu karata v'titen lanu Adonai Eloheinu b'ahava et yom hazikaron hazeh yom truah mikre kodesh zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim. In your love, eternal our God, you have given us this day of remembrance, a day for the shofar's joyful song, a day of sacred assembly, a day to be mindful of our people's going out from Egypt. Together on page 196, our God, the God of the generations before us, may a memory of our Savior may it be heard and seen by you when you give your favor and return your awareness, together with the memory of our ancestors, the memory of your sacred city, Jerusalem, and the memory of your people, the family of Israel. May we be remembered for safety, Elohim, and favor, for love and compassion, for life and for peace, on this day of remembrance. Zochreinu Adonai Eloheinu bo l'tova.
Amen.
Ufokteinu bo livracha.
Amen.
V'hoshienu bo l'chayim.
Amen.
Eternal our God, remember us.
Amen.
Be mindful of us.
Amen.
And redeem us for a life of goodness and blessing.
Amen.
Page 199. According to Rabbah, the Holy One said, on Rosh Hashanah, recite before me words of Malchuyot, sovereignty, Zichronot, remembrance, and Shofarot, sovereignty, so that you may acknowledge me as ruler over you. Remembrance, so that remembrances of you may rise up favorably before me. And how shall this be accomplished? Through the sounds of the shofar. Page 200. Together. We are stiff-necked and stubborn. Teach us to bend before you. Convinced we are right, entrenched in our own perspective, we resist your call to repent. Convinced we are self-sufficient, entrenched in the illusion of control, we resist your call to humility. Convinced we can have it all, entrenched in the dream of mastering the world, we resist your call to wake up. Today you summon us out of our arrogance, out of rigidity, fantasy, shallowness, self-deception. Teach us to bend our knees, to bow our heads before the mystery, to realize our frailty and our finitude. Teach us to make you Melech, sovereign in our lives, to align ourselves with your goodness and truth. We would not bow down to Pharaoh. We would not down before Persian lord. We would not submit to any power on earth or give ourselves to any material thing. But we, the Jewish people, stiff-necked, stubborn to the end, today we bow before you. Page 203, responsively. Awake, you sleepers, from your sleep. Rouse yourselves from your slumber. Awake like Israel at the sea to the joyful song of Miriam and Moses.
Sing to the eternal, for God has surged in triumph. The eternal shall reign forever and ever.
Awake like Israel at Sinai to the dignity of being God's partner.
You shall be for me a holy nation, a sovereign community of priests.
Examine your deeds and return to God. Remember your Creator, you who are caught up in the daily routine, losing sight of the eternal truth. You who waste your years in vain pursuits that neither profit nor save. Hear the rousing call to repentance.
With trumpets and the blast of shofar, raise a shout before the eternal, the sovereign.
Hear and know the truth of a higher power.
God is sovereign, robed in majesty. God is clothed with strength, so the world stands firm and cannot be shaken.
Page 205. Blessed are the hearts that respond to the majestic music of the shofar. Blessed is the gift of life, the power of renewal that brings us to this day. Page 206, please rise.
Asher Kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lishmoa kol shofar. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, she'iyanu v'kiyavanu v'hiyanu l'zman hazeh.
Tekiya, Shvarim Trua, Tekiya, Tekiya, Shvarim, Tekiya, Tekiya, Trua, Tekiah.
Ayom Haradonah, Ayom Yavim Hamishpat, Kol Yetzurei Omamim, Im Kevanim, Im Kavadim, Im Kevanim, Rachamenu, Kevahem Avanim, Venim Kavadim, Elenu, Lechatelu, Shitachaleinu v'totzivaor, Mishpateinu hayom kadosh.
Today the world is born anew. This day the whole of creation stands before you to be judged. As we are your children, love us in the way of mothers and fathers. As we are yours in service, guide us by the light of your justice, grace, and holiness. Together, let the wishes of our lips, our heart's desire, be pleasing before you, God Most High. You are knowing and attentive, watchful and aware when we call out, Tekiah. Lovingly, favorably, receive our prayers of Malchuyot. Please be seated. Baruch atah Adonai melech al kol haaretz, mekadesh Yisrael v'yom hazikaron. Our praise to you, Eternal One, whose power pervades all the earth, bringing holiness to the people Israel and to this day of remembrance.
Say Adonai Eloheinu, Yahweh Yisrael, Utefilatan le'ahava tikavel, Utehi leratzon, Tamid avodat Yisrael. Let's see you. Let's see you.
Please through page 215. Please continue silently through page 221.
Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu Yaakov Yisrael. 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 Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu Yaakov Yisrael.
We now come to the Avinu Malkeinu. If you turn to page 221, there are some questions for reflection. I'm just going to read one of them now, the bottom one. Avinu Malkeinu, may we taste anew the sweetness of each day, renew us for a year of goodness. Consider perhaps these questions that are about to ask while you're sitting at lunch, and talk to a neighbor. Where do I find moments of sweetness and beauty? As a new year begins, where will I devote my best energies? How can I bring more goodness to the lives of others? Talk about this at lunch, and maybe talk with someone you don't know very well, and gives you an opportunity to make a new friend. Page 222, we read responsively. Loving Father, gentle, forgiving,
lofty and inscrutable,
Avinu,
Malkeinu,
compassionate mother,
omnipotent Lord,
comforting presence,
fathomless mystery,
Avinu,
Malkeinu,
our rock and redeemer,
life of the universe,
close to us always,
impossibly far,
Avinu,
Malkeinu,
embracing,
compounding,
accepting our frailty,
decreeing our end,
Avinu,
Malkeinu,
together. None of these are true, none of them are you. Yet we stand as those before us have stood, summoned to judgment, longing for love. Avinu Malkeinu, may these words be a bridge. They come from our hearts, may they lead us to you. Page 223, I ask you please to rise. We continue responsively on page 223. Avinu Malkeinu, Shema Kolenu.
Avinu Malkeinu, almighty and merciful, hear our voice.
Avinu Malkeinu, Chatanu Lefanecha.
Avinu Malkeinu, we have strayed and sinned before you.
Avinu Malkeinu, Chamol Aleinu V'al Olaleinu V'tapenu.
Avinu Malkeinu, have compassion on us and our families.
Avinu Malkeinu, Kalei Dever V'cherev V'ra'av Me'aleinu.
Avinu Malkeinu, all the onslaught of sickness, violence, and hunger.
Avinu Malkeinu, Kalei Kol Tsar Umastin Me'aleinu.
Avinu Malkeinu, all the reign of those who cause pain and terror.
Avinu Malkeinu, Kotvenu B'Sefer Chayim Tovim.
Avinu Malkeinu, enter our names in the book of lives well lived.
Avinu Malkeinu, Kadesh Aleinu Shana Tova.
Avinu Malkeinu, renew us with your goodness. Avinu Malkeinu, Aleinu, Aleinu. Avinu Malkeinu, Aleinu, Aleinu, Yevanu Vasi. Avinu Malkeinu, Aleinu, Aleinu, Yevanu Vasi. Aseimanu, Tzedakah v'chesed. Aseimanu, Tzedakah v'chesed, ve'oshineinu. Aseimanu, Tzedakah v'chesed, ve'oshineinu.
Please remain standing. Page 226. When we first appeared on the stage of world history, a book was in our hands. This book, this sacred scroll. And we were told, this is very near to you, in your mouth and in your heart. And we were told, you can surely do it. And when we learned, this is where heaven and earth touch. We are the people of the book. Through fire and mud and dust, we have borne our scrolls tenderly as a baby swaddled in a blanket, traveling with our words sewn in our clothes and carried on our backs. Let us take up the scroll of Torah and dance with it and touch it and read it out, for the mind touches the word and makes it light. So does light enter us, and we shine. Page 228. Adonai, Adonai, are we singing that? No, okay. Adonai, Adonai, El Rachum v'Chanun, Erech Hapayim v'Rav Chesed v'Emet, Notzer Chesed la'alafim, Nosei Avon v'Fesha, v'Chata'a v'Nakeh. Adonai, Adonai, God, compassionate, gracious, endlessly patient, loving and true, showing mercy to the thousandth generation, forgiving evil, defiance, and wrongdoing, granting pardon. Adonai, Adonai, El Rachum v'Chanun, Erech Hapayim v'Rav Chesed v'Emet, Notzer Chesed la'alafim, Nosei Avon v'Fesha, v'Chata'a v'Nakeh.
Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonai, Kadosh Menorah Shemo, Gadlu Adonai Iti. Ularoma Mashamo Yamda. Adonai Hagedula ve'hagevu ura ve'hativeret ve'hanetzach ve'ha'od ki bo b'shamayim u'ba'aretz ki bo b'shamayim u'ba'aretz lecha Adonai ha'mamlaka Hamid Na'aseh lepo lero. Adonai Eloheinu v'nishkachonu le'ha'arosho. Rometu Adonai Eloheinu v'nishkachonu le'ha'arosho.
Our Torah reading is from the book of Genesis, and it is found on page 200 and, so what number I didn't write down, 240. 240, we're going to be reading this memorable story, to say the least, about Isaac and Abraham. The first aliyah this morning is for Jeff and Tina Brahms. Jeff and Tina. There you are. Okay. Ya'amdu la'aliyah l'Torah. The story, we had it right in the exact place.
240.
Thank you. Never felt it. Okay. Baruch et Adonai Hamborah.
Baruch Adonai Hamborah Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamborah Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher b'arkanu mikol ha'amim. V'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen.
Vayhi achar hadvarim ha'ela ha'Elohim nisa et Avraham. Vayomer alav Avraham. Vayomer hineni. Vayomer kachna et vincha et yechidcha asher ahavta et Yitzchak. V'lech lecha el eretz haMoriah v'he'eluhu sam le'olah. Alechad ha'erim asher amar elecha. Vayiskem Avraham baboker, vayichvosh et chamoro, vayikach et shnei na'arav ito, ve'et Yitzchak beno, v'yivaka eitzei olah, vayakom vayelech el hamakom. Oh, sorry. Asher el hamakom asher amar lo ha'elohim, biyom hashlishi, yisa Avraham et einav, vayar et hamakom merachok. That's it. All right, here.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher natan lanu Torah emet. V'chayei olam natan b'zorkeinu. Baruch atah Adonai Noten HaTorah. Amen.
Second aliyah this morning is for Larry and Stella Grimminger. Ya'amdu la'aliyah l'Torah. No, it's not. Okay, sorry. We're right here. All right, thank you.
Baruch et Adonai Hamborah.
Baruch Adonai Hamborah Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamborah Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher b'char banu mikol ha'amim. V'notan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai Noten HaTorah. Amen.
Vayomer Avraham el na'arav, shvu lachem po im hachamor, v'ani v'hana'ar nilcha ad ko, v'nishtachaveh v'nashuva alechem. Vayikach Avraham et eitzei ha'olah, vayisem al Yitzchak beno, vayikach biyado et ha'esh ve'et ha'ma'achelet, vayelchu shnehem yachdav. Vayomer Yitzchak el Avraham avi, vayomer Vayomer Yitzchak el Avraham aviv, Vayomer avi, Vayomer hineni b'ni, Vayomer hine ha'esh v'ha'etzim v'ayeh haseh le'olah. Vayomer Avraham Elohim yir'elo haseh le'olah. B'ni v'yilchu shnehem yachdav.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher natan lanu Torah emet. V'chayei olam notan b'Eloheinu. Baruch atah Adonai Noten HaTorah. Amen.
Miss Tamara. Yeah, you're alone. Okay. The third aliyah is for Steve. Steve Schaefer. Ya'amod la'aliyah l'Torah.
Baruch hu et Adonai hamborach.
Baruch Adonai Baruch Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai hamborach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Vayavohu el hamakom asher amar lo ha'elohim. Vayivek sham Avraham ve'et hamizbech vayaroch et ha'etzim v'ya'akod et Yitzchak beno vayisem oto al hamizbech mima'al la'etzim vayishlach Avraham et yado vayikach et hama'achelet lishchot et beno vayikra elav malach Adonai min hashamayim vayomer Avraham vayomer hineni Vayomer al tishlach yadcha al hana'ar ve'al ta'as lo mu'uma ki ata yadati ki yareh Elohim ata velo shachachta et bincha et yechidcha mimeni.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
And the fourth aliyah this morning is for Randy and Brian Smith. Ya'amdu la'aliyah l'Torah.
Baruch et Adonai hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai
Hamvarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai hamvarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Vayisa Avraham et einav vayar v'hine ayel echar ne'echaz b'svach v'kirnav vayelech Avraham vayikach et ha'ayel vaya'alehu le'olah tachat beno vayikra Avraham et hamakom hahu Adonai yira'eh asher yomer hayom b'har Adonai yira'eh, vayikra malach Adonai ela v'ham hashemayim.
Barucheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chayim nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Yes, you can outside. Sorry, my mistake. I'm getting all confused. All right. And our fifth aliyah this morning is for Hetty, chair of our ritual committee. Hetty's going to lead to discuss those fairs. Yep.
You can stay up. I'm gonna help out.
You can help her.
That works.
That's okay. We're going to be right here.
Baruch et Adonai hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim ונתן לנו את תורתו.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו
Amen.
Okay. Shin Hashemayim. Vayomer bi nishpati neum Adonai ki ya'an asher asita et hadavar hazeh velo chashachta et bincha et yechidcha ki barecha varechacha veharbe arbe et zarecha kekochavei hashemayim vekachol asher al sfat hayam veyerash zarecha et sha'ar aviv v'hit baruchu b'zarecha kol goyei haaretz ekev asher shamata v'koli vayashov Avraham el na'arav vayakumu vayelchu yachdav el be'ar shava vayishav Avraham biv'ar shava.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר נתן לנו תורת אמת, לחיי עולם נתן בתוכנו. ברוך אתה אדוני נותן הטובה.
Amen.
So, all right. With this Torah, we are going to do a Mishaberach for, if I can find it. Let's see. Okay, we're going to do a Mishaberach for healing. I'm going to leave a pause for names, and please just call out the names that you know. Mishaberach Avatenu v'imotenu Avraham Yitzchak Yaakov Sarah Rivka Rachel Leah Hu Yivarech v'yirapeh et hachalim ha'ela Hakadosh Baruch Hu Yimalei Rachamim Aleihem Lahachlimam u'larakotam Lahachzikam Lahachayotam Vayishlach Lahem Mehera Refuah Shlema B'tok Sha'ar HaCholim Refuat HaNefesh Refuat HaGuf Hasteh Ba'agala U'bizman Kariv V'namar Amen. May the one who brought blessings to our fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and to our mothers, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bring blessing and of health to those who are ill. If any names you wish to say aloud, please do so.
Steve Hall, Ron Yellen, and the Bella family.
Bert Farmers, Janet Lambert.
Judy Bagley, Evelyn Rogers.
Marta,
Jesse Elsner.
Marta Arevalo, Norman Emery, Amy Sharp.
Alan Wall.
Eli Abels. Jay Ward.
May the Holy One, blessed source of life and healing, sustain and strengthen them with compassion and restore them to full health without delay. For all who struggle against illness, let renewal of spirit and renewal of body come soon. And together we say, Amen. There is, okay. We are now going to raise the Torah. Who is, you're rapping? You're Glila? Okay, excellent. I invite you now, please, to, where is, you ready to do the Torah?
Yep, I'm ready.
All right, please rise. Yeah. So let me do it. Okay, so you can go down halfway here. There we go.
Vezot Torah asher sam Moshe lifnei bnei Yisrael ki Adonai b'yad Moshe. Yai lai lai lai, yai la la lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai la lai lai la lai lai. Yai lai yai lai, yai yai lai yai lai, yai lai lai lai
You may be seated. The Haftarah reading this morning is on page 250.
So I have a new partner this time. Seth will be back for Yom Kippur, but Ralph is filling in. So it's gonna work great. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar b'nbi'im tovim v'ratza v'divreihem hane'emarim be'emet. Baruch atah Adonai habocher b'torah Uf Moshe Avdo, Uf Yisrael Amo, Uf Inviei Ha'emet, V'Tzedek, Vayehi Ish Echad Min Haramatayim, Sofim Mehar Ephraim, Ushmo Elkanah ben Yeraham ben Elihu ben Tahu ben Suf Ephrati velo shetei nashim shem echad Chana v'shem hashenit Penina vayehi lifnina yeladim Ulchana en yeladim ve'allah ha'ish hahu me'iro meyamim yamima lehishtachavat v'lisboach la'Adonai tzibaot b'shilo v'sham shenei v'nei Eli Chofni u'Phinchas Kohanim la'Adonai Vayehi hayom vayizbach Elkanah v'natan lifnina ishto ulchobaneha u'benoteha manot Ulchana yitain mana achat apayim ki et Chana ahev Adonai sagar rachma v'chiasata tzarata gam kaas ba'avur hari'ima ki sagar Adonai ba'ad rachma v'chein yaseh shana v'shana midei alota b'beit Adonai kein tach isena v'tivkeh v'lo tochal v'yomer la Elkanah isha Chana lamer tivki v'lamer lo tochli v'lamer yira levavech halo anohi tov lach me'asara banim v'takom Chana acharei ochla v'shilo ואחרי שעתו, ואלי הכהן יושב על הכיסא על מזוזת היכל אדוני, והיא מרת נפש, ותתפל על אדוני, ובכו תבכה, ותרדר נדר, ותאמר אדוני צבאות, נמרוד תראה בעוני אמתך, וזכרתני ולא תשכח את אמתך, ונתת לאמתך זרע אנשים, ונתתיו לאדוני כל ימי חייו, ומורא לא יעלה על ראשו. והיה כי הרבתה להתפל לפני אדוני, ואלי שומר את פיה. וחנה היא מדברת על ליבה, רק שפתיה נאות, וקולה לא ישמע, ויחשביה אלי לשיכורה. ויאמר אליה אלי, עד מתי תשתחרין? הסירי את ידך מעלייך. ותעל חנה ותאמר לו, אדוני, אישה קשת רוח אנוכי, ויין בשחר לא שתיתי, ואשפוך את נפשי לפני אדוני. אל תיתן את אמתך לפני בת בליעל, כי מרוקו שיחי, וחסי דיברתי עד הנה. ויעל לי, ויאמר לכי לשלום, ואלוהי ישראל ייתן את שאלתך אשר שאלת מאיבו. ותאמר תמצא שפחתך הן בעיניך, ותלך האישה לדרכה ותאכל, ופניה לא היו לה עוד. וישכימו בבוקר, וישתחוו לפני אדוני, וישובו, ויבואו אל ביתם הרמתה. וידר אלקנה את חנה אשתו, ויזכרה אדוני. ויהי לתופו הימים, ותהר חנה ותלד בן, ותקרא את שמו שמואל, כי מאדוני שלטיב.
We'll continue on page 252 and 253. And the man Elkanah and his whole household went up to make the annual offerings to the Eternal and to fulfill his vow. Elkanah did not go up, for she said to her husband, "Until the boy is weaned, then I will bring him. Once he appears before the Eternal, he will stay there forever." Elkanah, her husband, said to her, "Do what you think is best. Wait until you have weaned him. Surely the Eternal will fulfill what your mouth has uttered." So the women stayed and nursed her son until she weaned him. When she had weaned him, she took him up with her with a 3-year-old bull, 1 ephah of flour, and a skin of wine, and brought him to the house of the Eternal to Shiloh. And the boy was young. They slaughtered the bull and brought the boy to Eli. And she said, "Please, my Lord, as you live, my Lord, I am the woman who stood here with you, praying to the Eternal. It was for this boy that I prayed, and the Eternal granted my request. I in turn granted what the Eternal asked of him. As long as he lives, he is dedicated to the Eternal, and there they worship the Eternal." And Hannah prayed, saying, "Through the Eternal my heart knows joy. Through the Eternal my horn is raised. My mouth opens wide against my foes, for I exult in your deliverance. There is nothing holy like the Eternal, for there is nothing beside you. And there is no rock like our God. Speak no more in lofty terms. Let arrogance leave your mouths. All-knowing is the eternal God, whose deeds cannot be measured. The vows of the mighty are broken, while those who falter find strength. Those who are full sell themselves for bread, and the hungry hunger no more. The one who has barren bears 7, and the mother of many is bereaved. The Eternal is the maker of death and life, takes down to Sheol and brings back up. The Eternal makes poverty and wealth, casts low and raises aloft, lifts the poor from the dust, causes the needy to rise from dung heaps, and dwell among princes. Then places them on thrones of honor, for the pillars of the earth belong to the Eternal, who founded the world upon them, who watches over the steps of the faithful, while turning evildoers silent in darkness. For not by power shall a human being prevail. The Eternal shatters foes, thunders against them in the heavens. The Eternal judges the earth from end to end. So may God give strength to the sovereign and raise high the horn of God's anointed.
Page 259. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, tzur kol ha'olamim, tzaddik b'chol hadorot, ha'el ha'ne'eman, ha'omer v'osei, hamdaber umkayem, shekol divarav emet v'tzedek, al haTorah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al ha'nevi'im ve'al yom hazikaron hazeh shenatata lanu Adonai Eloheinu lechavod ultifaret al hakol Adonai Eloheinu anachnu modim lach umavarchim otach yitbarach shimcha befi kol chai Tamid le'olam va'ed, u'dvarcha emet v'kayam le'ad. Baruch atah Adonai, melech kol ha'aretz mikadesh v'Yisrael v'yom hazikaron.
We continue on now with our service. We are going to be on, we actually are on page 266. We are getting ready for the second sounding of the shofar. Oh, yeah, come in, sit down, you've got time. Page 266. That's what I said. We continue responsively. The ancients of Israel lived within us, and God remembers the covenant.
As for me, this is my covenant with you. You shall be the founder of all nations.
A covenant of heart imprinted in flesh, fathers and sons consecrated to God's service.
This is my covenant which you shall keep between me and you and your offspring after you. Every male among you shall be circumcised.
A covenant in time, a sign of our devotion, candles lit by our mothers and our daughters.
The people of Israel shall keep Shabbat, celebrate Shabbat for all their generations, a covenant for all time.
A covenant freely chosen, a sacred obligation.
If you obey faithfully and keep my covenant, you shall be to me a kingdom of priests and a holy nation.
A covenant of lifetime love that binds all Israel to the source of good.
I will love you forever, and I will lead you with righteousness and goodness and compassion.
The ancients of Israel live within us, and we remember the covenant.
It was found with our ancestors in the eternal days of covenant, both past, living, and everyone else today.
All that God has spoken, we will faithfully do, for the covenant lives in us.
For the mountains may move and the hills be shaken, but my faithful law shall never leave you, and my covenant of friendship shall stand unshaken.
And on the next page, we read together in the middle. God of remembrance, remember the covenant of our ancestors we affirm it today. Remember, we are people of noble ideals. Help us to attain them. Remember all your people, all the nations on the road to peace. Bless their efforts. Remember with mercy the binding of Isaac, the sorrow of Sarah, Abraham's words, here I am. Our memory fades, but you remember all that we have forgotten. Your presence is a throne where all things matter and nothing is lost. Baruch atah Adonai, Zoher Habrit. Blessed are you, Adonai. You remember the covenant. You remember us. Page 268, please rise. Tekiah, Shvarim Truah, Tekiah, Tekiah, Shvarim, Tekiah, Tekiah, Truah, Tekiah.
Hayom Yamin V'Mishpat Kol Yisrei Olamim Im Keranim Im Kavanim Im Keranim Rachameinu Kerachem Avalim Im Keranim Eneinu Lechaleluyot Ad Shetechaleinu V'Tetzim B'Chor Hamishpateinu Hayom Kadosh.
Together. Today the world is born anew. This day the whole of creation stands before you to be judged. As we are your children, Love us in the way of mothers and fathers, as we are yours in service. Guide us by the light of your justice, grace, and holiness. Let the wishes of our lips, our heart's desire, be pleasing before you, God Most High. You are knowing and attentive, watchful and aware. Tikia, lovingly, favorably, receive our prayers of Zichrono. Please be seated. We're going to continue now on page 270.
Eternal presence, who blessed our mothers and fathers, bless this holy congregation, a house of study, prayer, and righteous deeds. Together we give thanks for our leaders, those who learn, teach, and uphold the Torah, inspiring others to learn, teach, and uphold the Torah. Those who do the sacred work of building our community, may their service bring them joy, fulfillment, and purpose, and may they go from strength to strength. For our members, diverse in age, interest, and background, Jews by birth, Jews by choice, and those of other faiths who join with us, all who offer their time and talent, their love and commitment. For all who come here on this holy day of Rosh Hashanah to share the search for meaning and renewal, your presence is a blessing, your friendship a gift. May the spirit of peace, dignity, and respect live within these walls, inspiring us to care for one another with compassion. And may we be a source of goodness, light, and healing for the world. May the one who blessed the generations before us bless us as we stand together this day, one congregation, joined with all Jewish communities of the world, through our prayers on this festival of the new year. Let us renew ourselves for the year ahead. Let us honor the precious legacy that is ours.
For all who teach Torah and their students, may heaven grant redemption and grace, kindness and compassion, length of days and ample sustenance, divine support, bodily health and spiritual enlightenment, and offspring who will live and endure and never abandon the study of Torah, to our teachers and rabbis of holy communities in the land of Israel and in the diaspora, to our religious and communal leaders, spiritual mentors and guides, to all their students and students of their students, and to all who engage in the study of Torah. May the sovereign of the universe bless them all, prolonging their lives with fullness of days and length of years. May they be delivered from all illness. Heavenly teacher, be their help on every occasion and at all times. And let us say, Amen.
Before I begin, just a brief public service announcement. Our congregation pledge, make sure that all congregants registered to vote. So before the prayer for our country, just a reminder, elections are coming up. Please register to vote and then vote. God of holiness, we hear your message. Justice, justice you shall pursue. God of freedom, we hear your charge, proclaim liberty throughout the land. Inspire us through your teachings and commandments to love and uphold our precious democracy. Let every citizen take responsibility for the rights and freedoms we cherish. Let each of us be advocates for justice, an activist for liberty, a defender of dignity. And let us champion the values that make our nation a haven for the persecuted, a beacon of hope among the nations. May our actions reflect compassion for all people within our borders and abroad. May our leaders and officials embody the visions of our founders to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity. We pray for courage and conscience as we aim to support our country's highest values and aspirations, the hard-won rights that define us as a people, the responsibilities that they entail. We pray for all who serve our country with selfless devotion in peace and in war, from fields of battle to clinics and classrooms, from government to the grassroots. All those whose noble deeds and sacrifice benefit our nation and our world. We are grateful for the rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness that our founders ascribed to you, our Creator. We pray for their wisdom and moral strength, that we may be guardians of these rights for ourselves and for all the sake of all people, now and forever.
Avinu, you who are high above all nations, states, and peoples, Rock of Israel, the one who has saved us and preserved us in life, bless the state of Israel, first flowering of our redemption. Be her loving shield, a shelter of lasting peace. Guide her leaders and advisors by your light of truth. Instruct them with your good counsel. Strengthen the hands of those who build and protect our Holy Land. Deliver them from danger. Crown their efforts with success. Grant peace to the land, lasting joy to all of her people. And together we say, Amen.
We're now going to continue to return the Torah to the Ark. Page 277. Please rise.
Etz Hayim Lema Hazikim Ba Betom He'ar Neushar Deraheha Darhei Noam V'chol Netivoteha Shalom Ashivenu Adonai Elecha V'nashuva Chadesh, Chadesh Yameinu, Chadesh Yameinu Kekenem.
You may be seated.
Return again, return again, return to the land of your soul. Return again, return again, return to the land of your soul. Return to who you are, return to what you are, return to where you are born and reborn and return to who you are, return to what you are, return to where you are born and reborn and reborn. Return again, return again, return to the land of your soul. Return again, return again, return to the land of your soul.
And we come now to the third and final shofar service of this morning. And we are going to be on page 279. Let's read together. Misery for breakfast, morning coffee with the news of distant deaths, because someone's always suffering, and there is bound to be a crisis raging somewhere
or a quieter catastrophe barely at the edge of our notice. We're accustomed to the feeling of something going wrong, like static in the background, tuned out so we can get on with our day. It's just the same as yesterday, and nothing can be done. So there's not much point in getting too upset. But if something were to shock us, like a baby's piercing wail, or a fire bell in the night, like a punch in the stomach, or a puncture in the eardrum, like a savage call to conscience, or a frantic call to help, would we scream like a shofar and get mad enough to act? When a ram's horn is sounded in a city, do the people not take alarm? Page 208. Page 282. Together, you revealed your glory, a presence in a cloud, and a people became holy when you spoke with them. Amid thunder and lightning, you made yourself known. With blasting shofar, you appeared. God revealed to us and to our fathers and mothers before us, God of revelation, play the song of freedom on the great shofar. Let your banner fly over the gathering of our exiles. Bring back the dispersed. Let those who are scattered find their way home. Let the joyful songs lead us in Jerusalem, your holy city, the place of our people's eternal happiness. Page 284, please rise.
Blessed are you in our lives, Adonai. You hear with love the shofar, true voice of your people Israel.
Tekiah, Shvarim Trua, Tekiah, Tekiah, Shvarim, Tekiah, Tekiah, Trua, Tekiah Gedolah. Especially for Ruby.
I know Harantola, I know Rabbi Lamishma.
You may be seated.
Surrey Olami, Ikemani, Imkamani, Ikemani, Retroveinu, Erochamawawani, Veim Kamani, Elkeinu,
Oi. That's all I have to say. Oi. Turn on the TV. Oi. Read the newspaper. Oi. Talk about your health. Oi. Talk about your friend's health. Oi. Politics. Oi, Vesmir. It's been a tough year. I can go on and on listing all the oi moments. Oi is more than a word. It's a feeling. It's an emotion. It starts with a deep breath, and then we let the word out with a sigh. Our shoulders slump, and it feels like we've been deflated. For all those occasions when oi is not enough, we ascend to oi vey,
And if it is really catastrophic, oy vey mir. Such a powerful and universal word. Sometimes it's all you need to say. It can be a complete sentence, but it is never the end of the story. An oy joke. 4 Jewish women were engaged in a lively game of mahjong. Suddenly, one of the women blurted out, "Oy." The next said, "Oy vey." And the third added, "Oy vey mir." Finally, the fourth said, "Now, ladies, tonight we promise not to talk about our children." Well, the joke is humorous. I have an imaginative backstory for that joke. In order for these women to understand the nuance of each other's succinct oy, there must have been lots and lots of words spoken over a very long time. These women were friends, undoubtedly. They had spent much time not only anguishing over their children, but also quelling, being proud of them. And no doubt they will have continued to have many more conversations, offer counsel to each other, and at the very least provide a caring, listening ear. This oy was an oy of connection. The impact of oy changes depending on how we respond to it. If we only keep the oy in our heart, we risk becoming despondent and lonely. And if we use our oy as an opportunity to connect to others, then we have the possibility of finding meaning and purpose. As Jews, we've had a lot of experience with oy. We know sorrow, anguish, mourning very well. We mark these difficult moments and we share our sorrow. In fact, we are so good at sorrow that there was even a concept of Jewish history called the lachrymose theory. In brief, it is the belief that our history is primarily composed of persecution, rejection, and marginalization. And the result of these negative factors has determined the character and nature of the Jewish civilization. In other words, we are our tragedies. But this, of course, is not the only way to look at history. The historian Salo Baron believed that the lachrymose theory overemphasized the negative past. He said, yes, suffering is part of the destiny of the Jews, but so is repeated joy as well as ultimate redemption. He believed that Jewish history is not to be seen simply as a series of persecutions which determine its nature and course, but rather a process of ongoing engagement between the Jews and their surroundings. Oy and joy are 2 ways of connecting with each other and with our surroundings. And our tradition has a role in helping us understand and respond to the oys and the joys of life. Upon entering the Promised Land, the Israelites who had been wandering in that wilderness for at least a generation are presented with a dramatic choice. They stand in a valley between 2 mountains, Ebal and Gezarim. From the top of one, a litany of curses are shouted, and from the top of the other, a litany of blessings. It is almost an absurd situation. Turn one way and you are reminded of all the good, and turn the other way and you are confronted by the horrible curses. And the Torah that we will read on Yom Kippur continues on this story. God says, I set before you this day life and prosperity, death and adversity. I command you this day to love the eternal your God, to walk in God's ways, to keep God's commandments, laws, and rules, that you may thrive and increase, and that the eternal your God may bless you in the land that you are about to possess. But if your heart turns away and you give no heed and are lured into the worship of service of other gods, I declare to you this day that you shall certainly perish. You shall not long endure on the soul that you are crossing the Jordan to enter and possess. I have put before you life and death, blessing and curse. There it is. God's stark challenge to us. How we respond to that challenge is up to us. Do we choose to see beauty and possibility, or problems and difficulty? We can celebrate, or we can decry our world. Both are legitimate and justifiable responses to our lives. Abraham Joshua Heschel interprets this to mean that to be human is to be called to act in this world. We are constantly and inescapably challenged to respond to our world. God is tugging at your sleeve, tapping on your shoulder. God is urging you to respond. Socrates believed, "I think, therefore I am." But for Heschel, the centrality of humanity was not intellectual thought, but rather how we respond to the demands of our world. He might have said, "I am commanded, therefore I am," or perhaps, "I respond, therefore I am." As thinking, feeling beings, we have a choice in how we want to respond to the challenges of our world. We can turn away or we can face forward. We can withdraw or we can connect. And sacred community gives us strength to respond. There are many ways in Judaism of answering God's command. Some choose to respond with ritual observances. Some respond with acts of chesed, righteousness. Some feel called to be scholars and others to be social workers. Some respond by eating kosher soup and others by opening a soup kitchen. In the parlance of Jewish behavior, we could say that there are those Jews who are committed to tikkun olam, repairing the world, and those who feel the demand to live religiously scrupulous lives. But for Heschel, there is no distinction. Ritual and observance alone are not enough, nor is social justice without sufficient grounding in the ethics of Torah. Both ritual and response are required for having a fulfilling and meaningful life. In our tradition, two ways of responding to the... Here's a story for you, a very short one. A Hasidic rabbi was studying with his students when he heard a baby crying in the other room. His students remained focused on his work and did not heed the cry. The rabbi got up from the table and went to comfort the baby. Upon returning to the room, he chastised his student for not attending to the crying baby. He said, "If someone is studying Torah and fails to hear a baby's cry, there is something wrong with his learning." Judaism teaches us that we need both the study of Torah and responding to the needs of those around us. We cannot make the mistake to think that living a spiritual life and living an activist life are incompatible. According to Heschel, we can respond based in Jewish tradition to all the problems we encounter. And it is that grounding in Jewish teaching which anchors our work of tikkun olam, repairing the world. It's not easy to respond to God's call when you are isolated and separate. But being part of a community, a sacred community, gives us the means of forging meaningful responses to the oys and to the joys in our world. We are not alone either in our sorrow or in our celebrations, nor in the work that we do to repair all that is damaged in the world. Now we know most of our life is not lived in that valley or even on top of the mountains. We are neither completely miserable nor ecstatic. Most of our lives are in between, mundane and ordinary, the cooking, the washing, the dishes, the driving the carpool, etc., etc. Our challenge then is to still look for the grandeur that is hidden within the mundane. And Jewish tradition provides us the tools to appreciate our world at both ordinary and extraordinary times. Let me give you one example that you are probably very familiar with. The prayer we say before we eat, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lecha min haaretz, blessed are you, God, for bringing forth bread from the earth. Huh? Bread doesn't come from the earth. Bread comes from a baker. The brilliance of this blessing is that it gives us an opportunity to appreciate the complexity of our world and how many hands have toiled so that we could eat. Wheat into flour, flour into bread, bread onto our table. We are acknowledging with this prayer that we are not alone in the world. We are not independent. We are part of an intricate web. And even if you could outline each and every step from farm to table, it is still quite an awesome process. And after we eat, then it's time to thank God again. And now that we are full and satisfied, we are reminded that there still are others who are hungry, and we have an obligation to help them. Wow, all this in our ordinary prayers. One of my very favorite blessings is the one that some people say first thing in the morning after going to the bathroom. We thank God for the complicated way in which our bodies work. Most of us are very lucky, and we are lucky enough to take basic bodily functions for granted. But even knowing all the science of our anatomy, isn't it still miraculous that we get up every morning and we function? Finding the sacred in the mundane, finding that joy and oi are not really so separate at all. Judaism, through belonging to sacred community, helps us to recognize both. Last night, we talked about the need for each of you to bring your full selves, your unique light into the community. When we are able to do this, we are then able to transform our world. To be a person is to be called to act in the world. And our response to the world is nurtured, cultivated, and expanded in sacred community. In this way, religion is more than faith, more than practice and belief. Religion is about dissent, self-examination, and critique, recognizing our own discontent as well as that of others. A sacred community can give us the opportunity to create meaning and purpose while living with the realities of ambiguity and uncertainty. If we respond to the needs of the world based on the foundations of our religion, if we use our heritage as the impetus to action, then we can fully respond to what God demands of us. And in order to do this, we need to be part of something greater. We need to be part of a community. Being part of a sacred community feeds our own inner life, as well as it helps us feed the hungry. Shema Yisrael, listen Israel, listen for the joy and listen for the woes. Know that you are commanded to respond to the needs of others, to respond to the world in all its ugliness and all its grandeur. Respond with faith or respond with dissent. Respond with prayer and respond with action. How glorious it is to be a human, knowing that we are called upon by God. Shana Tova.
When we look for I realize God is in our love, fueling the fire of our lives from day to day. Lave, heart in heart, where my hand stops, your hand starts, in a circle of love that has no end. Lave, heart in heart, God's been with us from the start. In this complicated world, you'll need a friend. And so I'll keep you close to me.
Listen for God's voice, we think we'll hear it loud and clear. A giant clap of thunder from the sky. But singing songs with you, it is the most attentive ear. And know that God dwells between the worlds for us to find. Lave, heart in heart, where my hand stops, your hand starts. In a circle of love that has no end. Lave, heart in heart, God's been with us from the start. In this complicated world, you'll need a friend. So I'll keep you close to me, lave. When we yearn for God's touch, we hope that pain will go away. In an instant, in a moment, be renewed. But as we work together toward that sacred, peaceful day, we learn that God heals each of us through me and you. Lave, heart in heart, where my hand stops, your hand starts. In a circle of love that has no end. Lave, heart in heart, God's been with us from the start. In this complicated world, you'll need a friend. I'll keep you close to me, and God will be as together we will stay.
Thank you. That was a perfect anthem for us this morning. You did well. We are going to continue now. We're on page 286. And our ARC openers, thank you. Please rise.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'atei gedula l'yotzeh b'reishit, shelo asanu b'goyei haratzot, velo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo samchokenu kahem, ve'or aleinu k'chol hamonam. Va'anachnu korim u'mishtachavim u'modim lifnei melech malchei hamalachim hakadosh baruch hu. V'ne'emar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz v'yom hahu. Yom Hahu Yireh Adonai Echad. Bayom Hahu, Bayom Hahu, Yeh Adonai Echad. U'shamo Echad, U'shamo Echad, U'shamo Echad.
You may be seated. Our thoughts turn now to our loved ones, the loved ones whom death has taken from us in recent days, and those who died at the season in years past. Our hearts open as well to the wider circle of loss in our community, and wherever grief touches the human family. Page 290. If I can let you go, as trees let go their leaves, so casually, one by one, if I can come to know what they do know, that fall is the release, the consummation, then fear of time and the uncertain fruit would not distemper the great lucid skies. This strangest autumn, mellow and acute, if I can take the dark with open eyes and call it seasonal, not harsh or strange, for love itself may need a time of sleep, and tree-like stand unmoved before the change, lose what I lose to keep what I can keep. The strong root still alive under the snow, love will endure if I can let go. We are thinking today of Jerome Rosenberg, Jerry Newman, Goldie Berman, Harriet Barenfeld, Irving Woloveck, Lily Lowenstein, Ted Schoenfeld, Miriam Schulman. There's anyone else who you are thinking of?
Steve Rock,
Edie Gross.
Number 2.
May all of their memories be for a blessing for us in this new year. Please rise as you are accustomed on page 292, and I'll remind you again that there are a couple of extra words in here. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'yalma divra pirutei, v'yamlit malchutei, v'chaye hon v'yomei hon, u'v'chaye dekol beit Yisrael, v'agala v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam almei almaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitraham v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei d'kudsha b'richu le'ele u'le'ele b'chol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran b'yalma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shamaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'ramav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'al kol yoshvei tevel, v'imru amen. May the source of peace bestow peace upon all who mourn, and may we be a source of comfort to all who are bereaved. Amen. Please be seated. Okay, very briefly, we are going to, I guess I get to do Kiddush, okay. You want to do Kiddush today? Are you ready? It's just the short, okay. All right, a couple of brief announcements. One, we still have bags. Please, please, please take a bag, fill it with food, and bring it back on Polny Dre. We'll have a car here ready to take everything, and let's see if we can't get more bags this year than last year. We also have apples and honey for you. You can pick it up on your way out on the left side of the foyer, something to enjoy, or eat it as your dessert for lunch, because we do have lunch following this. I think we have Sally's famous fish tacos again, correct? With everything else that we could possibly need. Lots of everything, I'm quite sure of that. So please join us for lunch. And like I said, talk to someone you may not know at lunch. See what it feels like. We are continuing this afternoon for the children's service for Tashlich. Check the times on the purple page. We're Tuesday night. We are going to be back at 8 p.m. for Kol Nidre, and then all day on Wednesday. Just come and camp out. We'll be here. That's all. Stay tuned for Sukkot and Simchat Torah. Although I will just say one thing about Simchat Torah. This year, I really would like to have as many people as possible read from the Torah. Even if you're rusty, that's okay. Let me know. Let's talk. We'll pick a verse. And we'll have you read it. So it's going to be a wonderful, fun thing to have the Torah out and all of us reading from it. I think that's all for today. So let's see. Kiddush and Motzi.
Baruch Adonai Eloheinu Morei Uri Agafen.
Everybody? Okay.
Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz.
We are our last song, and then a benediction.
I like to hear the shofar blast, sometimes slow and sometimes fast. I like to hear the shofar blast. Happy, happy, happy New Year. One more time. I like to hear the shofar blast, sometimes slow and sometimes fast. I like to hear the shofar blast. Happy, happy, happy New Year. I like to hear the shofar blast, sometimes slow and sometimes fast. I like to hear the shofar blast. Happy, happy, happy New Year. I like to hear the shofar blast, sometimes slow and sometimes fast. I like to hear the shofar blast. Happy, happy, happy New Year. I like to hear the shofar blast, sometimes slow and sometimes fast. I like to hear the shofar blast. Happy, happy, happy New Year.
closing benediction for us. The time is now, we've gathered round, so bring all your gifts and bring all your burdens with you. No need to hide, our arms open wide. We gather as one to make a Makom HaKadosh in this new year. We come to tell, we come to hear, we come to teach, we come to learn, we come to grow, and so we say, the time is now. Sing to God, God's presence is here. God dwells here among us. This place, this space is a holy space. It is a space created by you to nurture in this new year. Amen.
Amen.
Please eat. All right.